What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with part one of an unboxing of some items that return from grading with Collector Archive Services. You probably saw a few of these in the live stream that I did this past Friday with Boss Bounty and Chris from 5 Idiots Talking Toys. And we're going to start off with a heater. All of these for the first part of this unboxing, all of these are vintage collection items, and we're going to start off with an absolute heater that is another example of how incredible the toy community is. James M, I hope you, I'm just going to keep him anonymous just to be nice. You know, I don't know if he wants his name known out there, but James M a long time ago sent me this this past December, I believe it was. And this is a pretty rare vintage collection item. This is the Canadian Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett, and it has the rocket-firing mail-away Boba Fett offer sticker, but this is the one with that error. And so it says Boba Fett, and Baba is, you know, obviously a pretty well-known error for these Canadian card backs, and it was only, to my knowledge, only the Canadian rocket-firing offers that had this error. And this was a gift from James that I did sit in to get grading. And you know, just as a word of warning as it relates to turnaround time, CAS is getting worse, not better, with their turnaround times. Most of these items date back from January, February, and March. They ended up kind of grading 3 or 4 batches all at once, and apparently they are getting better with their turnaround times. But 7 to 9 months was the turnaround time for this. But this is a pretty incredible gift from James that did grade a 90, and it graded 90, 90, 95, and again it's got that awesome Baba typo on the offer. So just an incredible gift from James. Thank you again, James, so much, and please wish him well. He's had some health issues here recently. I just sent him a graded Mandalorian comic as a small thank you, as a small token of my appreciation for James. So just please wish him well in the comments if you don't mind. But here's the back of the card. Again, it's the Canadian card back. Just an absolute beauty, and one of the prides of my collection. Very, very pricey item, and just awesome of you, James. Next up, we've got Mythrol. And I did get 2 of these graded. This is the one I'm keeping in my collection. But wow, apparently, you know, Tim was saying from Boss Bounty that this was short pack, so there's not a ton of these per case, per Hasbro case. But one of the better releases from last year. I just love the detail, all the little accessories. He's even got his little welding torch there, or hacking device. He's even got some handcuffs, plus the little wanted poster, so to speak, the wanted hologram of him. I really love this release, and you know, Hasbro deserves a lot of credit where credit is due for going above and beyond with some of their releases, and this is one of them. This one graded 95 with CAS. 95, 90, 95 were the sub scores on that one. I did get a second one of these, which I didn't pull it out, but that second one is going off to a new home, and that will be shipped off this week. VC 225. So really nice example. And all of these very recent releases, you know, 2021 and newer, they are collector grade from Big Bad Toy Store. So I had a lot better luck with this batch than I've had in some of the recent batches. I had a lot of 95s in this batch. Here's another one. This is Darth Maul Mandalore. I absolutely love this card back. And, you know, I know it's not super popular among the collecting community, but for me, in my money, this is one of the better card backs that was released last year. I just absolutely love that card back. Great figure, great head sculpt, beautiful figure. I love the metallic, you know, the metallic boots and kind of the waistline that we saw from the Clone Wars. But just an awesome item. This one also graded 95, 95, 95, 95 were the sub scores on that one. So there you go there. And then I've got a lot of multiples. I only took out one, but I did want to show you another one, or another vintage collection release. And again, these were all Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. This is Bo-Katan Kryze. This is the standard card back. As you guys know, Boss Bounty sold me a Hong Kong import sticker version. So this is just the standard card back without the Hong Kong sticker. And I didn't check them before I sent to Collector Archive Services, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be the Hong Kong import sticker or not, because sometimes Big Bad Toy Store does get those with the Hong Kong distribution sticker on the back. But this is just the standard card without that distribution sticker. This one graded at 95. Straight 95s for the sub-scores. 96.9 was the overall score. And I did get several of those Bo-Katans graded. Why, I have no idea. But this one graded 90 plus. I have this one and the other 90 plus that I have. Here are the two 90 pluses that I have. They are for sale on Rogue 5 Toys on Facebook, which is run by the guys at 5 Idiots Talking Toys. So if you have any interest in these are listed right now on Rogue 5 Toys. 135 shipped in the US. And then I also did get 2 more 95s. So 3 95s out of the 5 that I sent. And these have already been claimed by good friends of mine. So I thought I'd just show those. Next up, we've got another heater that was kindly sent to me. I paid him for it, but I very kindly sent to me from Boss Bounty. This is the Mandalorian and Grogu Maldo Kreese kind of deluxe set. What an awesome item. It looks really, really great inside the acrylic case. And, you know, Tim knew that these were kind of tough to find really clean condition over here since they were Walmart exclusives. But Tim was able to get one, I guess, from Star Action Figures or one of those excellent retailers across the pond. And he did send it to me, and it arrived case fresh. Just an absolutely awesome release last year, and I totally forgot that this one was in the batch coming back. But here's the back. Awesome card back. VC211. And this one graded 90. 90, 90, 95. I mean, again, for a Walmart exclusive, as it's appropriately labeled there by CAS, I'm not sure you're going to do much better than that. It's just really tough to get higher than a 90 on a Walmart exclusive. And this is definitely one I'm going to keep in my collection. It just presents so well. The card art is incredible. And let me pause it here and open up some more. Next up, I needed to give a shout out to Thomas Hogan. He is a Patreon supporter, and he also is the gentleman that sells case shells, which are both acrylic sledding cases as well as clamshell style cases for vintage collections, G.I. Joes, all kinds of stuff. The contact information for Tom is in the video description for every video, caseshells@yahoo.com. He very kindly sold me one of the Bad Batch 4-packs, and so I did pick that up from him, and he charged me, list price on it. So Tom, thank you so much for that. And I did send those in for uncirculated grading. So they took them out of that larger case or larger 4-pack box. More on that in a second. But these are the ones from Tom. So again, Tom, thank you so much. This is Clone Captain Gray. What a beautiful card back. I love the fact that these are unpunched, as you can see. And this one is the runt. This is the one that got the lowest score. This one scored an 85. Uncirculated, as you see there with the red letters below the score there. But 85, 90, 95. And, it's common with that 4-pack that they were just, some of them got packed wrong. And some of them, maybe just didn't quite get packaged correctly. So this one had enough card damage, apparently, to be deemed an 85 grade. And I didn't really pick up what caused the 85. I saw a little bit of it. There it is. Now I know I got the 85. Right there, you can see a little bit of a crease there. And that's just from the packing from Hasbro, that some of them were just not quite, as delicately packed into that 4-pack box. So that was the lowest grade I got. And it was appropriately scored an 85 with CAS. Here's the next one. This is the Elite Squad Trooper. Awesome. Another awesome card back and figure. Love kind of the stealth night ops look to him. I just love the fact that they came unpunched, though. Just really, really cool. This one scored an uncirculated 90. So again, if you send in the 4-pack, Bad Batch 4-pack, the Amazon exclusive, to CAS and just say, hey, I want these 4 graded individually with the uncirculated designation, then that's what they'll do. So that's how it was scored. And AFA will do the same. I'm sure UKG will do the same. So anyway, that one scored the 90. I'm going to set them up like that. Next up is Captain Rex. Clone Captain Rex, another fantastic figure. I love the cloth goods there. Great head sculpt. And that one came back also with an uncirculated 90. Clone Captain Rex, Amazon exclusive, 90, 90, 95. And an uncirculated 90 for the overall score there. And then finally, from that Bad Batch 4-pack is the creme de la creme. Clone Captain Ballast. This came back with an uncirculated 95. A fantastic card. Here's the grade on that one. Uncirculated 95. 95, 90, 95 were the subscores. 97.2. So I barely missed a 95 plus. I've never gotten a 95 plus with AFA or CAS with any carded figure. And I mentioned this in the live stream with Boss Bounty and Rogue 5, or 5 Idiots Talking Toys, that I've never gotten a 95 plus before. I almost did with this one. So this is one of the highest ones I've ever gotten. I did get a 95 plus one time on a Vader Vintage Collection proof card. That came back a 95 plus. It just barely missed actually a 100 score. It was very, very close. So that is the good news. These all turned out fantastic. The bad news, as I alluded to in my live stream, is that Tim at Boss Bounty, he also sent me another one of these that I planned on getting graded, all encased together in the larger Bad Batch box, because that artwork on the box is fantastic. Well, unfortunately, it was damaged during the grading process. It's an unfortunate thing, but the whole back of the card, because the way that, you know, the guys that were doing the acrylic, they didn't kind of clean off the acrylic kind of edges first, and so when they slid it in, it scratched all the way down the back of the card. And it's unfortunate, and it's a quality control issue with CAS. I will, you know, disclose that they did compensate me accordingly to the insurance amount that I had listed on there. So I was paid back for it, but it doesn't make me happy. And I think that, you know, quite honestly, this is, again, something I mentioned in the live stream. They're going to have to earn back my trust for anything that's of really, really expensive. I just, you know, whether it's, again, a $50 item or a $5,000 mint on card, the fact that it was damaged during the grading process gives me pause for doing any further submissions of high value items with CAS. So, you know, apparently they hired a new ops manager that's kind of streamlining and improving the process and things like that. But, you know, that was going to be sent back to me as is. But, you know, again, I saw the photos. I reached out to them. They very quickly said, yes, you know, we have to own this. We caused that damage during the encasing process. And my options were to either get it regraded and it would come back a slightly lower grade, or to take the payout. I took the payout because I was so disgusted by that process. You know, it probably would have come back an 85 is my guess. It was an uncirculated 90, and it was gorgeous. But anyway, you know, I guess, but my point is that, you know, yes, CAS rectified this situation to the best of their ability, but it's a situation that I would not, that if I hadn't said something, it would have been shipped back to me in that condition. And, you know, again, I don't want to go off too much of a tangent here. I've got 3 more items to show you, but, you know, just be aware that when they upload those photos, look at them closely, because sometimes stuff gets missed. And in this case, it did. And it's unfortunate, but they're going to have to earn back my trust. That's the bottom line. And right now, I don't trust them to send in anything that's expensive. That's just how I feel about it. So, again, you know, they apologized profusely. They made it right financially. But at the end of the day, I'm missing out on the whole 4-pack in one big box, uncirculated 90, because their encasing guys damaged the item. And, you know, hopefully they learn from it and improve on it. I'll also say I did find 5 label typos in this batch that would have been sent back to me if I had not said anything. But to CAS's credit, again, I notified them. They immediately pulled the items and re-encased them with the correct labels. They were minor typos, but they were still typos. And it's the kind of stuff that just can't happen, in my opinion, if you want to be, you know, hang with the big dogs like AFA and UKG. You know, those label errors just cannot happen. So anyway, that's enough of my soapbox. I got 3 more items that I want to show you before we wrap this video up. Next up, we've got the Off-World Jawa from Arvala 7 from the Mandalorian. This is definitely one of my favorite early releases from 2021. Fantastic card, and I honestly think that this might be the best Jawa that has come to pass in the vintage collection. It just looks great. So many weapons, too. This guy is packing some heat. He's got the standard Jawa blaster. It looks like he's got kind of an older style version there of the pistol, and then obviously the egg that we know and love. This is not the Razor Crest version, but this will do just fine. This graded 95 with CAS, so nice high grade. And who were the other figures in that line? All right, so I do have all 4 of them, because I couldn't remember who the 4th one was. I've got these other 2 that I'm going to show you in a second, but the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett was one I sent in a while ago and received back. So, but the other 3 are finally coming back from Collector Archive. I might have waited a little while or something to send them in, but here's the next one, the ARC Trooper Echo. And I had a bunch of these pre-ordered with Big Bad Toy Store, and they canceled all of them except for one. So I don't know what happened there, but this is just a great card back as well. And luckily this one, it was my only one. I think I had 4 pre-ordered. They canceled them all except for one. I don't know if they had like a shortage or what, but this one did come back with the 95. So very happy about that, since it was the only one I had. But 95, 90, 95 were the scores on that. And just looks fantastic. Let's get a nice close-up of him. Looks great. I love that card back. Fantastic card back. And then finally, before we wrap this up, is one that I've been on an adventure with, and that is the Ahsoka Tano Mandalore. As you guys know, I sent in 2 from, and they were collector grade also. They were collector grade, Big Bad Toy Store. I sent in 2 of them to AFA for grading, and they came back with AFA 85 and 80 plus, which was ridiculous because I still think that score was way too low. And you guys know that I've been complaining about it, but I did finally get one back, and it was from the same Big Bad Toy Store batch. This one got the 95, and I was like, well, maybe CAS is overgrading it and AFA, was correct, or maybe it's some combination of AFA overgrade or undergrading it and CAS overgrading. I'm telling you, I have looked this bad boy over left, right, and center, and I think it's every bit of a 95. It really presents nicely. It's got a couple of very, very minor spots. The only big one I could find was right there. There's one little tiny nip right there, and the rest of the card is extremely clean. And I've got to be honest with you, I think this is every bit of a 95 grade, in my opinion. So I don't think CAS overgraded this one at all. And I'll say this, that in my opinion, Collector Archive Services and UKG, they correctly grade modern stuff. I think, at least based on my limited experience with AFA recently, they are really way too harsh on this modern stuff, because this is as case fresh as it gets. It was hand selected by Big Bad Toy Store, and these are every bit of 95s in my opinion. I think that's what they deserve. But good luck getting a 95 from AFA. Now, I do have 15 more vintage collection figures at AFA, so I'm giving them another chance to see what kind of scores I get. I'm guessing I'll get 85s and maybe a 90 or 2, and then maybe even some 80s pluses. We'll see. But I do think that AFA is overly harsh with modern stuff. And CAS and UKG have about the same grading scale, 90s and 95s where appropriate. And, we just saw one that from that Bad Batch 4-pack that got the 85, and it deserved the 85. It had that spider vein going across the top by the hanger tab. So anyway, I've talked too much here. The next video, part 2 of the unboxing, is going to cover some vintage Kenner items, some Power of the Force 2 prototype and pre-production items. I even got one Black Series, and then I also have a few more vintage collection store exclusives that I'm going to show you that are really hot. So looking forward to showing you those tomorrow. As always, I will include a slideshow at the end of this video and tomorrow's video with some close-ups of the items as well as the grading labels. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.